You know how we celebrate holidays? Well, a holiday that should be worth celebrating is Antinatalism Day. Now, I believe that holiday was on the 9th of April, if I'm not mistaken. So I am a few days late, but still want to talk about it. So grab your popcorn if you like, or potato chips, or whatever you have near you, and hopefully enjoy the show. Well, the rant. I just never understand why people want to keep bringing kids in today's life. We need to stop the hamster wheel. This hamster wheel has to break down. And it does get worn out. But the problem is, we keep reproducing more parts. You see, the hamster wheel runs on cylinders. And we are the cylinders. We're cylinders that eventually get worn out. Once we get worn out, we're replaced by another cylinder. So it all pretty much happens also by having a child. You're a cylinder prepping your child to one day be a cylinder as well. One day you're going to make your son or daughter be part of that cylinder to keep that hamster wheel going. What I always say is we should starve the system just like it basically starves us. If we don't have money, we're literally starved. We have nowhere to stay. You can't do literally jack shit. Well, that's true. If we would stop creating, if we would stop reproducing, eventually the system itself will starve, because we will all eventually go extinct. Once we all die, that's it. But that's the problem. We just keep reproducing. For whatever reason, I don't understand why. I really don't understand why you would want a kid in today's life. I could totally maybe understand if life was a good place, if, it was actually worth living. But I just don't see it here, man. I'm not trying to sound depressed. I'm not trying to sound negative. But no matter how many times I say that, there's always going to be someone that says you are negative. So what could you do, But I'm just being realistic. However anyone wants to take it. Me personally, I'm just being realistic. I say to myself, why do I want to have a kid? I want to bring a child into this world so I could prep him to go to school, so I could pay a fortune for him or her. Now I got to make him go to school, and I got to threaten that he better do good in school, he better get good grades, report card, all that shit. And if not, I'm going to threaten I'm going to take whatever he likes to do away from him, or her, away from her. It's like, we just want to feel empowered, I guess. I don't understand. A lot of people say I would be a good father. Well, I am a good father by not being a father. By being a father that doesn't bring another poor living thing into this dump. So, when it's Father's Day, the ones that I really want to wish a happy Father's Day to are the ones that chose not to bring another poor living soul into this hellhole. And vice versa, when it's Mother's Day, I would like to wish all the mothers that didn't bring a child into this hell. Those are the parents that I actually have sympathy saying Happy Father's Day or Happy Mother's Day to. Not the ones that unfortunately brought someone here just to suffer. Now, like I always say, I don't hate you, you parents or anything like that. I'm not saying I hate you guys or I dislike you guys. Foolish decision, yes, especially in a life like this. I will be straightly honest, but I'm not going to say I hate you or, because, hate's such a very strong word, and I don't really hate anybody. People may hate me, people may like me, but I don't hate no one. That's the thing, I don't hate no one. There are people that I don't like to mess with, like I don't like to talk to. I dislike them, but doesn't necessarily mean I hate them. I just don't want to really be bothered with them. I don't wish them bad in any way, you know. You go your way, I go my way. I guess that's basically how I like to narrow it down to. But you get a lot of people in life that wish bad on others. And I mean bad, like maybe something bad happens, like hope you die, I hope you get some kind of disease. You know, people are crazy, man. Some people even try to just kill you. Now, I'm not saying I believe in karma or not, but most people deserve karma if karma's a true thing. Me personally, whether karma exists or don't exist, I just don't like to do bad to people. But of course, with that being said, I don't like people doing bad to me either, because there is a devious side to me, and I don't like to use it unless it's really necessary. You get me? I just never could understand or comprehend why you'd want to be a parent today. Why you want to put all that stress on yourself. You know, I'm not only talking about the child's sake, I'm talking about even your sake. Like, you see how expensive everything is. You see what a circus life is and how much worse things just are becoming. And yet, you just want to put yourself, you know, you just want to put more stress and misery on yourself. I mean, I don't know what goes through people's minds. Of course, I can't tell people what to do with themselves, but I can only, you know, suggest or encourage people don't make that big mistake, because how I look at it as, it's a big trap. You ever heard of the movie called The Parent Trap? I think, if I'm saying that right, it was a Parent Trap. I never really watched a movie like that, but just the name, you know, how I look at it as, it's just a big booby trap, man. And it's something you could easily prevent doing. But people just, I don't know. Some people regret the decision when it's already too late. Then I find that fucked up, because then you just neglect your child. You know, it's not the child's fault in any way. You created him and now you want nothing to do with him. That's a shame on you. You should have thought about that. See, that's the thing. People don't think. There was actually on the news, there was this guy and his wife. They think they were married or something, and he just randomly one day just like ghosted her, like just took off. I don't know the whole story, but he just took off. And I think he had a kid. I don't know if he had a few kids or one kid, but whatever. I know he had a child. I mean, I don't know how old, but that's a piece of shit right there, man. It's like, you should have seen that vision ahead of time. Now you seen the vision when it was already too late. You already had the kid, and now you're just going to neglect them. That's fucked up. See, me, I try to be smart and wise. I don't want to get myself in that situation to begin with. That's why I'm preventing it from happening, period. But some people just don't think. They think when it's too late, or some just never think, period. That guy obviously thought when it was too late. Now neglect your kid. That's fucked up. That's a real douche. I mean, that's just my opinion. I find that as a douche. Just like now they're trying to make abortions illegal or whatnot. You know, in a way it should be allowed, at least in my opinion, it should be allowed, because sometimes you accidentally get someone pregnant and you're doing the child a favor in a way, believe it or not, as dark as it may sound, by putting them out of the, you know, misery, because, well, first of all, they're not fully developed yet. Because what almost happens is, let's say it's illegal abortion, and now you have a kid when you didn't want to have a kid. Now the kid's born, and now the kid's going to feel unloved, like, oh man, I really didn't want to have you, or whatever, or parents just neglect the kid. And I find that even more fucked up for the kid. At least if abortion was a thing, that could have prevented that poor child from facing that from happening. He or she wouldn't have known what happened, because it wasn't fully developed. I mean, I don't know if I sound cruel for saying that, but that's just my opinion. I find that cruel. Let's say you got someone pregnant by accident, and you want to get an abortion, but no, it's illegal. Now the kid's born and you don't even want the kid. That I find fucked up. Now that, I mean, imagine being the son or daughter knowing that you were an accident. You know, the truth is, I didn't really want to have you, but now you're here, unfortunately, and now you're making our lives a living hell and stress. Right there, as a kid, I would feel horrible, but it's not my fault. I mean, it's not the kid's fault. It's the parents' fault. And it's the stupid law's fault now for making this illegal, or what, you know. This is where I say it should be legal. At least that's just my opinion. But this is a whole different topic, though. But but it all summons basically to, you know, the whole kid thing, you know, antinatalism, I guess you could say. A lot of people say to me, why don't you want to have children? Do you hate kids? And I always say, no, I don't hate kids. They're stressful. I got to admit, they're a lot of work. They're a pain in the ass, that I will say. I'm not saying all kids are like this, but 9 out of 10 kids, 9 out of 10 times, you know, they're all a pain in the ass. But with that being said, doesn't mean I hate them. But they're just a lot of work and a lot of responsibility. And I don't feel like I could handle that or even want to tolerate that. Does that make me a bad person? It shouldn't make me a bad person. Now, if I went to have a kid and now don't want to do the responsibilities, then yeah, then I would say that would make me a bad person. But I'm thinking out of the box. I'm thinking ahead of time of saying, you know what? I don't want to deal with that responsibility. So I'm going to be smart and not have a child. You know? So I'm being smart like that. I'm not bringing a living thing into this world and then just saying, oh, fuck this, you know? I'm saying fuck this by not doing it to begin with. So that's why I choose not to do it. Plus, I feel for the child and I feel for my sake. I don't want to deal with that shit. It's hard just surviving in general, let alone I'm going to have a kid and now I got to worry about taking care of him, make sure he survives. I'm lucky if I survive. We live in the type of world today where we're lucky if we're surviving. We're lucky if we're just somehow getting by. And that's literally all we're basically doing is just trying to get by. And then on top of that, have a kid, make it even worse, make it more stressful for yourself. I never understand. I can never understand how people would want to do this to themselves. I don't. But I guess, unfortunately, each to their own, right? Somebody said to me today, are you married? And I'd be like, no. You're like, really? Man, all you gotta do is just get married, have 6 children, and you're set. And I'm saying to myself, and I'm set? I'm gonna have 6 children and I'm set? I'm gonna be freaking getting a noose if that's the case. Just 1 child alone is a pain in the ass. I'm gonna have 5 more? No. That's the thing. People think this is the way of life. You got to get married. People that don't get married today, people that don't have kids today, they look at it like they're weirdos or God only knows what goes through their minds. There's nothing wrong to saying no to marriage and saying no to children. I don't know if I'm ever going to get married, but I definitely guarantee you I ain't ever having kids. And honestly, I don't even think I'm ever going to get married. I mean, it's just a fucking scam, man. To just be with someone. You may kiss the bride. I kissed the bride soon as we were just a couple. But now we get to kiss this type of bride. Now we're married. Come on, bro. It's all just for this, man. People even see it too, and they're still just like, well, whatever, you know, we're gonna do it anyway. Like, I don't know, man. People just fall into this trap. It's like just such an easy mousetrap where, you know, like they don't even think. They just don't even give it a, you know, there's a certain word I'm trying to say, but they don't even give it a fight. They just literally they literally just fall right into it. Like, fall down, you know, literally. Fall right into marriage, fall right into having kids. Now, I will say this. If you want to get married and spend however much it fucking costs, be my guest. But please don't have children. But of course, I can't tell you what to do. I can only beg and hope that you make the smart decision. But at the end of the day, it is totally up to you. And unfortunately, if you make the wrong decision, there goes another cylinder on the hamster wheel. That wheel's never going to run out of cylinders because we just keep giving more cylinders. We eventually break down the cylinders, but we recreate a new cylinder to take its place. We need the cylinders to all break down. We don't need to give it any new cylinders. We should be getting ourselves some cylinders, if that makes any sense. But instead, we're the cylinder. But yeah, I can't believe today some guy's like, all you gotta do is get married and have 6 children. And I'm like, you crazy? I looked at him like, and then he looked at me, what, too much? And I'm like, you don't, yeah. I don't even want to have 1, let alone 6. Oh, God. And then the funny thing was, he said he has 2 kids, and man, it's expensive. It's like, yeah, And he was even like, even before I even totally even said anything, he just out of nowhere said, I have 2 children. And it's ridiculous, man. It's so expensive. I'm paying so much money, food and all that. And, and I'm saying to myself, yeah, and you wanted me to have 6 children? You have 2 and you're complaining. I'm going to have 6, and what do you think's going to be? Just 1 alone is rough. That's another thing I just don't understand. You have 1 child, that ain't enough? Bad enough you had 1 child. I mean, listen, whoever's pregnant right now, whoever's about to give birth, I hope your child absolutely 100% health and wealth. I do. I hope your child comes out, I hope he's a very healthy baby, whether it's you're having a boy or a girl. I really wish you the very best of your child. I do. But I do question, like, why? Why bring a poor living thing into this hell? Why? I don't hate children. Whoever just gave birth, I hope that baby's healthy. I hope that baby has an awesome, wonderful life. I really do. I pray the absolute best for your child, whoever's having a baby. But my question really is, why are we doing this? We're putting stress on ourselves, and we're putting stress to the new living. The new living. But seriously, literally. And then, you see a lot of mothers and parents and shit, fathers, mainly whoever, both parents, they want to pull their hair out. I say mother because, usually the girls have the longer hair, so it's, more interesting to say, but hey, guys too want to pull their hair out. But I say to myself, I don't feel bad for them because they got themselves in that situation. My heart really goes for the kid. That's who it really goes for. Because the kid didn't sign up for this. You did. Well, but when I mean you did, you signed up to having a child. You signed it up. You agreed to it. So now, you not want to tolerate the stress that it takes to raise a child. I really don't have that much sympathy for you because you got yourself in that mess. Child, on the other hand, didn't sign up for none of it. So I do feel for the child. I'm not trying to sound cruel or heartless, but it's just really the truth when you think about it. Seriously, though, you're a mother watching this video, or you're a father watching this video, and you have a child, whether it's a son, daughter, however old, I wish the absolute best of your kids, whether they're 20s in their 20s, whether they're 6 years old, however old. I hope them good health and wealth, and I hope for you too. I hope everyone here watching this video is in good health and wealth. I wish the best for everyone. But with all that being said, I do question, like, why did you want to do this? What do you see so magical about life? Like, what was the reason you wanted to have a kid in today's life? Is it because one day, you're going to probably get, which we all most likely are, we're going to get old and elderly, and that's when maybe my son or daughter could take care of me? In a way, it's kind of selfish because we're putting all the stress onto them. We're putting the burden basically on our kids. Think about it. They got to have so much stress. One day they know you're going to die, and that's going to hurt them. Just like if we lost, God forbid, let's say I'm a father, or whoever's a father, mother, and God forbid their kid just died. It hurts the parents, or it hurts the kids just as much. I mean, I know it's the normal way of life where the parent obviously is supposed to die before the child, but either way, it hurts for both ends. And sometimes it's harder for the child when they lose a parent because, some people just don't take it well. Everyone's stress level is different. Everyone handles death and griefs differently. Some cry really bad, some some really can't bear to even hear it. Some take it and manage it better. Everyone's different. That's the thing. Everyone handles things, and this just goes with just everything in general, not just that, just life itself. Everybody handles their stress differently. Some people handle things good, some people don't. And it's okay. I mean, it's just how we are, It's nothing you can do. It's just how sometimes we were born. When you really think about it, we all take things differently than others. I guess what I'm trying to say is we're all affected differently, which is true. We are. So, we put a lot of burdens on the kids. We put a lot of stress. And especially in a world like this with everything getting so expensive. I mean, that's just the biggest burden of all, bringing someone into this fucking expensive misery bullshit where you need money for every little fucking thing. That's the biggest burden you can do today, is bring another living thing in this hell. if life was actually a good place, then I could understand, man. But it really isn't a good place. It was never really a good place. It's not like I'm saying at some point life was a good place. It really was never a good place. It was always bad from the very beginning. But now it's just worse. It was always burning, but now we're just causing more flames. The flames increase. The flames are stronger. We're putting more gasoline. That's basically, as the futures go by, that's what we're doing. We're throwing more and more gasoline. We're we're igniting it, basically. We're just making it get worse to the point where now everything just is so much worse than it was. So back then, the fire was always burning, but now it's to a whole nother level. The flames increased dramatically. Drastically, tremendously, however you want to say it. But anyway, fellas, I am going to wrap it up. It's actually, I forgot to mention, I don't know if anyone here knows, today is actually my birthday, the 12th of April. So now I am currently 27 years old. I guess the only thing I can say that's really one positive thing about it is I'm 1 year closer to the grave, but probably not close enough. But yeah, today is my birthday. Just another day. It's just another day, nothing different, same shit. It's one thing, I guess, to be happy about when it's your birthday, just knowing you're another year closer to the permanent rest, to your permanent home, your permanent slumber, I guess you could say. But anyway, guys, I love you all, man, and signing off for now. Peace out. Take it easy.